How to stay focused, the key to being effective and clear-minded. Last DLIC I was talking about what? The inner demons, yes?
Yeah.
Some of the inner demons that we have. So Desmond was reading the book 80-20 Principle, and Jake was also reading it. How many of you have read the book so far? Okay.
Still reading.
What have you learned quickly? What have you learned from the book?
Take shortcut rather than
Take shortcut rather than
not taking shortcut.
not taking shortcut. Okay.
Also the importance of delegation.
Importance of delegation. Okay.
Less is more.
Less is more, yes. It's a deep book. It's a deep book. 80-20. That's what have you learned?
Like what I shared with you on the call was, it's the critical few. It's the, obviously, I mean, he's a very eloquent speaker. Right?
Yes.
I did not expect that from reading his book. And so he used a lot of big vocabulary words. I think a little bit unusual how he explains the whole topic. But
Yes.
I think at the end of the day, it was, I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought I was being efficient. I was no way even close to it. So
Yes.
the 20, it's actually scientific how you can see the patterns in society, and then just everything. Once you start to read the book, then you start to see how even going to the toilet or what I'm watching, what I'm reading.
It's all 80-20. Everything is 80-20.
80-20, yeah.
Very, very good. Very, very powerful. Very powerful.
Or like, you know,
So-
how long you sit in the toilet, and when you go take a toilet, you know.
So let me ask you this, first of all. Give me some task. Actually, let me talk about this. Strength Finder 2.0. I think most of you have taken a test, right? So one of my strengths is focus. That's actually the number one from the Strength Finders. So I see that over the years, and I've talked to Earl about this, like the two most important traits that I believe I have is focus and consistency. Focus and consistency. That I'm not necessarily the smartest. I don't have the most resources. I didn't have the most experience. But I'm consistent in terms of what I do, and I'm very, very focused. I'm able to filter out the things that are not important and focus on the important field tasks. And today I'm going to show you how to do that in a business context. Sound good? Okay. Very, very practical. So, and here's a great quote that I love by George Lucas. Always remember your focus determines your reality. I like that a lot. Your focus determines your reality. Which is also another way of saying what you focus on expands. What you focus on expands. You focus on problems, what happens? You get more problems. If you focus on solutions, you get more solutions. You focus on abundance, you get more abundance. You focus on what's wrong, you get more what's wrong. You focus on what's not working, what's wrong with me, you get more what's wrong with me. So let me ask you some questions. Give me some task that you do in your day-to-day business. Okay? Just quickly yell that out.
Editing videos.
Editing videos. Editing videos. Okay? And emails. Okay.
Writing articles.
Articles. Okay.
Closing sales.
Social media. Okay. Closing sales. Look. Bookkeeping, okay. What else? Team management, okay. Give me three more maybe.
Personal development.
Personal development. I just want business task.
Business has one.
Okay, so talk to clients. So let's call that prospecting, okay. Strategy, okay, strategy. Creating content, okay, so let's say PMP, right? For the PMP. Give me one more. Delivery, so actually fulfillment of the service. Yeah, fulfillment of the service, yeah, that takes up a lot of time. So think about all these things that we have to do. What happens is, for any one of us, you look at, okay, I got to do this and to-do list. When you look at this is very overwhelming for anybody. And this is just a partial list. Your business might have 20 more things and 5 more things. Every one of us is a little bit different. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So with this going on, most people that look at this, they what? What do they do? panic, they procrastinate, they freeze. Because it's too overwhelming. Yeah, right? It's overwhelming. So today I'm going to give you a way to organize this. First of all, you don't want all this in your head. That's the worst thing you can do because you get overwhelmed. Now, if you just put all of this in a to-do list, that's not good either. It's good, but it's a very entry-level entrepreneur. Because you put everything on to-do list and you kind of check it off, I did this and I did this, but are we doing the important things? So today I'm going to give you a way to organize this, okay? And we're actually going to put it into practice right now. So think of all the tasks that you have, everything that you've got. What I want you to do is I want you to group them into 4 categories. How many? 4 categories. How many? 4 categories. Okay? I taught this to Gary, maybe a couple other members, but not all of you guys. Now, this is for you if you're making less than half a mil and below, net income, not revenue. Don't count revenue. Can spend revenue. So half a million below, that's what you focus on. So let me break it down for you. So you have lead gen, you have PMP, which is personal media platform, you have money now, and you have money in the future. So give me some of the tasks again. Any one of them.
Paid advertising for lead generation.
So pay advertising, let's put that into lead gen. Okay. Let's more specifically, let's say Facebook ads. Okay, let's do Facebook ads. Facebook ads. Okay, YouTube ads. Some other task.
Make a video.
Make a video, what would that fall into? PMP, good. Where does that fall into?
Ignore it.
Huh?
Tax will come after.
Yes. So what is it? Which one? Money in the future, because you save money, taxes, right? So money in the future, bookkeeping, right? Good. Give me another one. Be more specific. Don't just say social media. Be more specific. Is it post on the Facebook?
Posting on Facebook.
Okay, so posting on Facebook. Where does that fall into? PMP. Okay, so posting on Facebook. Strategy. So which one? Is it lead? Is it PMP? Is it money now? Is it money in future?
That's on the context.
That's right.
So
Depends on the strategy. Is it a short-term strategy? It's a long-term strategy?
Is it creating strategies for clients? Is that money now? Or, let's see.
Think. So if you're creating a strategy for your client, that's the delivery of money in the future. There's no right or wrong. Think about what you do. So let me give an example. I am meeting with a potential client. I'm doing a strategy session, hopefully to convert them into a long-term client. That's money now. I'm doing a strategy session for clients I'm already getting paid. That's retaining client, that's money in the future. Make sense? So it depends on the client, depends on what you do. Give me something. So let's say for now, let's put money, with this defining that it's a strategy session to convert. How's that, okay? Give me a few more. I want to make sure you get this. Prospecting, where does that fall into? Lead gen, okay. Be more specific. Let's say door knocking. Okay, I want to be very specific. Because sometimes we say prospecting, that's so broad, right? So door knocking for what you do.
Under lead generation, also referrals.
Referrals, what do you mean?
Well, because I can either go spend money on ads. Let's say if I had no money for ads.
Yes.
If you're a beginning entrepreneur.
Yes.
If I have people that trust me and they know what I do and they see value in it, and I can ask for a
How do you
referral,
initiate that referral?
I think it starts by having a serious talk with that person that you know has a good set of...
So reaching out to existing clients and asking for referrals to generate lead, right?
Yes.
Good. Because you can also be putting together a referral system. That could be money in the future, right?
Right.
So it depends. For now, for our contacts, so referral, asking, right? Give me a few more.
Ranking a video with a lead magnet.
Okay, ranking a video, so that would be what?
Lead generation.
Lead generation?
Yeah.
PMP, lead generation?
It's a post, but I'm doing it
Okay, lead generation. Okay, all right. If you're doing it for kind of positioning and dominating the conversation, that could be PMP, right?
Right.
But for now, let's put ranking video in here. Good. Keep going. Give me a few more.
Write an article.
Write an article. Which one would fall into?
Probably PMP.
PMP, right? So article. Let's do 2 more. Give me some money now.
Now and future kind of naked looking there.
Yeah, give me some money now.
Coaching call.
Coaching call that you're getting paid, like right now, right? Okay, so coaching call. Closing on the sales, right? Oh yeah, that's money right now, right? Money in here. What else?
Company meeting, weekly company meeting.
No,
That doesn't count.
no.
Client appreciation events
Client appreciation, which one does this fall into?
In the future.
in the future.
Depends on how you do it. If you do it just to appreciate the clients, hopefully to strengthen the relationship, it might fall into this. But if you are very strategic about it, right after the client appreciation event, and you follow up and ask for referral, then it becomes this and also this. Okay? Give me. So let's for now say appreciation event. Let's put it here, right?
Sales webinar.
Sales webinar. Which one does fall into?
Money now.
Money now, right? Sales webinar.
How about workshop?
Yes. Which one it falls into?
Yeah, money now.
Money now, yes. Workshop, because we designed the sell, right, to convert. Good. One more. Give me one more. Wilson, give me one. Yeah.
Selling ice cream.
Selling ice cream? That's fine. So money now, right? Yeah, money now.
I was going to say that goes under personal development.
Okay, ice cream.
So that's like any filter.
Okay.
Any operation.
Now here's what happens. Let's say pretend in a moment you're going to do this for your business. Categorize what you do on a weekly basis, put them into this. Now here's the thing. Let's say you create that list and you show me the list. What if you have a lot of stuff, let's say this is quite empty, you have a lot of money now, but very little money in the future, PMP and lead gen. What does that tell me about your business?
No pipeline.
Unstable. What else?
It's not a business, it's a job.
Is a job. What are you focusing on?
You're in survival mode, you're in desperation.
Yeah, that's what it tells me. Because all your time and focus is on this. How do I make money now? You're not doing PMP, you're not doing lead gen. You're just what? Right? Just making money. Just trying to pay the bills. Just try to close some sales, man. Just make some money. No money in future. I'm not even thinking that long term, that that's strategic. So forget about that. So you think in terms, what if I am working on, let's say I'm a real estate agent, and I'm talking with a lot of people. I'm trying to establish relationships. So I'm working on a lot of money in the future, but yet I'm not doing lead gen, I'm not doing PMP, and I'm not closing clients. What happens? What does that tell me about your business? So I have a lot of this, but I don't have a lot of these 3.
Wasting too much time. Not actually implementing what needs to get.
Wasting a lot of time, okay. Not implementing.
Structure's not working.
What would happen to my cash flow?
Cap go to zero. Negative.
Stephen?
Well, I mean, the only way to get to money now is by doing lead gen and PMP. That's how that feeds.
Not always. Not always.
Yeah, if you focus too much on the
Not always.
in the future.
Isn't?
Just for example, whoever said that, if I just go to some referrals, I don't have to do any of that. I could still make a sale and close it.
Yeah.
Just give me an example.
Yeah. Not necessary. Now, what if I have a lot of PMP? Let's say 80-90% of stuff is all PMP. Very little lead gen, very little closing money now, very little in the future. What does that tell you? Sapphire. Yes. Dion, what does that tell you? What does that tell me about the business?
Maybe unclear about what you're even. There's no offer. Yeah.
There's no
There's no offer.
offer?
You're actually.
It could be an older business that's you've already got all the stuff in play and you.
No, I'm just saying your activities wise. Because if you're old business, if you're converting sales, you're making money.
It's starting to look like a hobby, to be honest with you. You gotta find a new business.
You gotta find new business. No, think of a lot of those social media influencers, big following, lot of engagement, no money. What do they focus on? no lead gen.
They're just
That
getting
was
some change
basically
from
me joining DLIC, that's where I was stuck.
Yeah.
Just a great PNP and really nothing else.
This is no, so you got people like you got big following, but where's the money? You see this very common mistake, 'cause there's no money now and there's no money in the future, right? So you look at this, you dissect your own business very clearly, you know what to focus on. Now, if ideally you want it to be a quite balanced thing, right? You don't want this to be 80% on the future or 80% just money now. You want to have kind of like a table, kind of like think of this chair, maybe even. You want to have 4 legs. Should be quite equal. So as you're working on stuff, don't just say, hey, sometimes if you're in the survival mode, yeah, I get it, money now. Let's get some money now. No problem with that. Once you get over that, okay, I can't just always operate in this column. I need to kind of think and diversify and allocate some of my resources and effort into this. I also think about now here's the thing. What if you focus on these 3, lead gen, PMP, money now, but you don't focus on money in the future? What happens? What happens?
You're struggling, you're living month to month, no plan.
No living month to month, no plan.
Overwork yourself potentially, just being stuck in the same place.
Feast or famine.
Yeah, feast of famine, right? And you're not thinking, because usually, think about the breakthrough comes from this, right? It could be that one relationship, could be that one deal. But they say, hey, I'm just selling my stuff, man. A lot into the marketers fall into this. I'm just selling my shit. Lead gen, money, lead gen, money. And money future, forget that shit. I don't think about that, right? That's a problem. No long-term vision. Let me tell you something about money now. One of the most important thing when it comes to the money now category, this is all good. I can tell from my experience what's the number one thing. Collecting. Collecting the money you're supposed to have. Making the sales, that's not it. Making the sales versus collecting the money, collecting as important as closing the sales. Make sense? Yeah. Think about this. Collecting. Client on monthly, recurring. Client like accounts, receivable. Collecting. When I get in the morning, collect. Collect. Collect, especially if you're doing recurring, collect. I'll tell you one thing I've learned. In recurring, let's say what happens, let's say you always bill your client on the first, hypothetically, okay? And the client was on vacation and somehow they were spending money and they kind of, let's say, max out the credit card, and this month it doesn't go through, okay? But they're on vacation, they won't come back until the 10th. So you can't really contact them. So from the first, now you won't see the money maybe when they come back and say, hey, you need to update your credit card. No problem, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Now let's say they update the credit card on the 12th. Now you might not think that's not a big deal. It's a big fucking deal. Because that 12 days delay, I can tell you on average, people update a credit card, this and that, happens a couple times a year. Next time this happens, it's going to be delayed another 10 days or 5 days. When you do this enough, you just lose 1 month of revenue. When you have 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 people, this happens, it's a big problem. You see what I'm talking about?
It's something to do with the quality of the clients, because some people just don't pay, and they rely on you to
Yeah, if that's part of it, that's part of it. But also it's our responsibility. Sometimes, because we let it just, they'll pay. You just focus on closing sales. It's an intention thing. I'm talking just focus versus I need to collect money from that person. That's an important thing. It's just a habit of it. Do you want?
So I'm growing a bit of a backbone now, just in general, and I'm seeing this already happening a little bit.
Yeah.
I love the way that you're charging us through PayPal automatically. And I'm trying to actually remove invoicing because I just want to charge. I don't want to invoice and then have it come back. And I've made the mistake already with 2 of my clients.
Yes.
So people moving forward, it's money up front. You're using like a PayPal product.
Yes.
Like with DLIC. How do we custom make something that's quick enough that on the fly, because like an SEO client A versus B, the offer is going to be two completely different things depending on their needs, right? So is there a way that we can auto?
Yeah, just use any, let's say even Stripe, any payment processing, recurring, just get the credit card. You just need the credit card.
Why was that such a hard time? Okay, I'll talk to you after.
Right? Just Stripe, any one of those will work.
You can create it in like unique buttons in PayPal. Too.
Your unique button, right?
Super quick.
Maybe somebody just needs to show me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to make it easy, right? Make it easy for them to do. Okay. So lead gen, PMP, one more scenario. What if I am doing a lot of lead gen, let's say 80, 90%, yet this is very empty. What does that tell you about the business? Think.
First off, your follow-up is weak.
No.
Your offer is not landing, your lead gen's not the right type of lead gen.
So maybe not the right type of lead gen, or the guy or the girl terrible at closing.
Yeah.
Or the offer is weak, right? So instead of, oh, let me just focus on, let's get more leads, let's make more. You see how this gives you a very clear picture? So when you break down and you group your stuff into this, if you see months go by and it's very off balance, you're very heavy on this and you have none of this, you got a problem, right? You're heavy on this and you got none of this, you've got a problem. So you always want to balance it out. And you say, oh, I'm doing a lot of that. But also, I think I need to work on my lead gen a bit. I only got 2 things on my lead gen, and I got a bunch of this stuff on here. No good. Let's reallocate my time, invest my time into building some of this, or the PMP. So you want to be very, very balanced. Now, we all have month that's off balance all the time. Depends on what you're working on. But you want it to be focusing on some effort into all these things. Make sense? So just break it down.
Okay.
Yes?
So personal development, like reading books and stuff, that's all money in the future?
No, it doesn't fall into any of these categories. That's why I said learning doesn't count.
Okay.
Because until you take what you learn and implement, that does not count. Now, it doesn't mean, of course, we need to learn. But I just want to make sure you don't think it's, a lot of people, Jack was like that, reading books and stuff, and you think, oh, it's money in the future. That's not money in the future. That's money in your mind. Right? Product extension. Right? No, that's not that's money in your mind. Yes.
Dan, can you give me a little bit more example of money in the future besides building a relationship or doing JV?
Yeah, doing JVs. It could also be, let's say I'm working on something that a big deal that might be huge PMP. Let's say I'm trying to get on a TV interview. I'm trying to get on Oprah. Right? Once I get that shit, everything will work, right? That might be a potential. Or it could also be sometimes I'm working on a deal that I find someone that can integrate with my business that could save me a whole bunch of money that I could outsource to. That also is huge, right? If Vic and I were thinking if outsource certain, like even WeChat and stuff, we want outsource, that could be money in the future. But we've got to have this stuff working first. So this is very, very clear. So this, you look at what you do, put it into this framework, you know what's going on. That's beyond best consultant, right? If you show me this, it's very clear. I could just, hey, what's wrong with this picture? And you say, well, yeah, I can see I'm very heavily on this, and I don't have any PMP. Shit, no wonder I'm struggling. I'm always trying to chase clients. It's just show me your activities, I will know exactly what's happening, right? You have a lot of this, no cash flow. This, or you're just always selling. People are not coming to you, you're going to people. Make sense? Right?
What's the ideal weight?
25, 25, 25, 25. Right? Right? On a weekly basis. Yes, Stephen?
So, I see myself in there massively badly.
Good, it's good. It's the first step.
So part of it, like for me, is diving more into figuring out the lead gen and doing more of that.
Yes.
Because I find myself chasing clients.
That's right.
That's all I do.
That's right. So sometimes, it could be a new member comes to me and say, hey, Dan, I've got this problem, but that's actually not their problem. Their problem is this. That's why it's not so easy to say, hey, Dan, where do I find clients? Where do I find clients? That's why I said to Jack, I've already shown you how to find. No, but where do I find clients? They don't see it. This helps you see it. You see it. There's no. It's so obvious, very, very obvious. Now, let me give you one piece. I'm talking about this is $500,000, right below. Yes, Stephen?
So do you have like a board or something like that?
Yeah, my whiteboard. That's what I have. So my task, I break into all this stuff. I have a bunch of this stuff. I bought a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of this stuff. That's what I have. For myself, that's what I use over the years, right? That's what I developed. Now, obviously, let me give you also add another piece. For $500,000 now, from my experience, you need to add 2 more columns, and that is system and team building. If you're $500,000 up, you need to add 2 more pieces. System and team building. And that's why I told you on, don't focus so much on that until you get to a certain point. Focus on this. Focus on this first, right? Sometimes I say, don't worry about that stuff. When you get to a certain point, yeah, you can do more of that stuff.
System and what was the other one?
It's team building.
What about fulfillment?
See, the fulfillment aspect, your activities. Let's say you are charging monthly, right? That falls into, to me, money in the future because it's monthly recurring, right? Make sense? Right? Or you need to collect, you collect half the money and you got to finish the work to collect the other half, right? Then you put in the money now.
Where I've been running into problems is I have to do all of it plus fulfillment.
Yeah,
So, I mean, fulfillment for me is 20, 30 hours.
yeah,
That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
I'm a client.
yeah. And what happens as you do this more and more, you find that your highest income producing activities is not fulfillment. It's never fulfillment. That's why D1 said, I can sell this stuff, I can close, I can find someone else to fulfill it. That's a good way of thinking.
Yeah, well, I finally found out, I finally hired someone.
Yeah,
But, yeah, now it's kind of delegate that.
yes,
I see a big problem.
right? So if you want to $500,000 up, system and team building, if you want to integrate with your personal life, obviously you can have like health, family, how you allocate your time, right? Spirituality. If you want to do that, you can do that too. That's what I'm saying. You just break it down. Then you know how you allocate your time.
So limiting belief maybe, but I don't think I can have a 500,000 take-home business without heavy fulfillment in the system.
Yeah.
Like I think I can maybe do 20, 25 take-home maybe
Yeah.
myself-ish.
Yeah. What I'm saying is get there first. Get there first.
I kind of share that.
Yeah, get there first. Get this stuff working, because this stuff takes time. This stuff is easy. It's much easier than you think. To hire someone, stuff doesn't take that long. Building a PMP takes time. But most people, you can see sometimes, guess what? They try to systemize and team building and all this shit. And they're making $80K a year. I said, team building for what? You're not making enough to team build anything. You can't pay anybody to do any good work. You have to hire all these people who is like cheap as fuck. That's why they do bad work. That's, you know what I mean?
What's your thoughts on hiring a PA? Then do you think I should not? And I mean, I know this is a little bit more personal.
No, I'm not saying, don't take it literally. Don't take it literally. I'm not saying if you're below $500,000, you cannot hire a person. That's not what I'm saying. I'm strictly talking about your own productivity and activities, right? How you allocate the time. So let me give you a couple minutes. I want you to work on this now, okay? That's a great quote. High performance people focus on not on the price, but on the moment. Focus on what?
Moment.
Focus on what you're doing now to break through your performance. To break through your performance, you've got to break through your psychology. To break through performance, you got to break through your psychology. So what holds you back very often? Inner demons, limiting belief, all the BS. It's always that
Third
BS.
column again? The spelling? Yeah.
Health?
Yeah.
Health?
Oh, health.
Health, it could be family, it could be spirituality, whatever you want to do.
I can
Right?
read that, sorry.
Right? That's my Chinese character writing. No.
Sorry, I can only read Japanese.
Yeah. Perfect, perfect. So let's give you a couple moments. Write down the 4 columns. If you're doing $500,000 up, do the 6-column system and team building. But if you're doing $500,000 and below, yeah, do that. And write down, let's say I give you a few minutes, and write down 15 things. How many? 15 things that you do on a regular basis in your business, and just put into 4 columns. Okay, and see how if it fits, am I putting in the right column? And you can discuss with each other too. Hey, you know, what do you think of this? Should this be money now? Should this be money in the future? So it should be that kind of discussion. Okay, let me give you 5 minutes to do that.
Can I do the last slide?
Sure. This one? Is pre-selling. That's what PMP is all about. Pre-selling. I'm pre-selling, pre-qualifying the ideal prospects for me through my content. So when they do get to talk to me or they get into my funnel, they're aware of what I do. There's a certain amount of trust being established. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. So,
Sam had a good point. Maybe you should switch PMP and lead gen and just to make it almost more clear. Like,
Because I think this is the orders of importance.
oh wow.
Yes. Cindy?
Is landing page is leads?
Landing page is just a landing page.
Is it not sales?
But
No.
it's gonna sit there on an island if you don't do something.
Yeah, if you do something with a landing page and you drive Facebook traffic, or PMP traffic to it, then it's lead gen.
Yeah.
Okay, so then
Right?
it's a lead gen.
Yeah, see how you think about it? So
Yeah.
doing that doesn't mean anything yet. It's like you have a car, but you don't put fuel into it, you're not going anywhere yet.
So your distinction, just so I'm clear here, there's no point in doing PMP if you have no lead gen.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
because you can do a lot of PMP and be broke.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's a PMP without a call to action, right? So,
Without a clear offer, a good offer, a compelling offer, or some kind of funnel, yes. So you see a lot of people do this. Think of like people do PMP stuff. Oh, big fall doesn't mean. I was talking, right? You totally experienced this, right? This is exactly what I'm talking about. So these need to be simultaneous. What happens is if you do it well together, your PMP will help your conversion with lead gen because it's more pre-selling, and more lead gen you have. Perfect example. Let's say I'm using Facebook ads. I'm driving them to an opt-in page. Simple. On a thank you page, I told Carla the same thing, right? Drive them to join your Facebook group. That's my PMP. So the more lead gen I have, the bigger my PMP is. The more pre-selling I have. Now, the more members I have, at the same time, maybe more people opt into my lead magnet. Or more people opt into my webinar, so I can convert them into money now. So it should work very well. So work well together, not as separate. I'm trying to teach you how to integrate it. Right? It's not just, this is my right punch, this is my left punch, this is my right kick, this is my left kick. Which one is better? Depends on where's the opening. Right? Depends where's the opening. Now, although, for myself, I'm leaning, as you know, I'm more an advocate of this, not out of balance. More advocate of this because I found out when this is strong, this is my lead punch. When this is good, this all becomes easier. When I have a strong reputation and brand, easier to close deals. Easier for them to opt into my stuff. Easier for me to do JV with other influencers because this is strong. When this is not strong, I find that from before, I always have to do a lot of convincing, a lot of selling. A lot of just pushing. I don't want to do that. So I'm very heavily on this. Now, what's the downside of PMP? Takes longer. Takes more consistency. This is quick. This is quick. This is quick. This is not quick. But this is the kind of the long-term important piece, right? So something to think about. Finish that. Give you one last minute, 30 seconds, 1 minute. 4 columns.
So webinar would essentially be money now, but if you're working on automating a webinar, that'd be money for future.
Yes, that's right. You got it. Very good. Very good. Very, very good.
And I think that, I've gotten better in terms of allocating my time during the day, but now this makes me think, the next week, I want to record everything that I do and take a look at it.
Yes.
Because I'm writing all these things down, right, all the tasks
Yes.
I go through, but really I want to see and go back to see if really I'm being honest with myself. And
So basically time log, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just time log. I mean,
remember when Dan taught us how to do calendar blocking?
Yeah, you can do that too.
I just do that. Everything I do is just chuck in the calendar.
Chuck in the calendar.
If it's on the calendar, I'm not gonna do it.
yeah, but then I get distracted with different things, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I need to.
Actually go back and fill in the
Yeah, I
shit
know.
that you
You'll
actually
see.
did do.
But good, very good. Yeah, absolutely.
Just to make sure that because I do calendar block too,
Yeah.
but man, I'm sure that I'm leaking all over the place.
And you will see your weak area,
Yeah.
and you also, this tells you some of the stuff that you have. This is shit. I don't need to do. Why am I even doing this?
Yeah.
That's what I want you to think, right? This doesn't fit into any of this shit. You could be like people are very busy and don't produce results. You look at their to-do list, you compare to this. There's no correlation. They're just busy doing shit, right?
Organize my office,
Yeah.
shuffling.
Yeah, you could. And people are very good with that stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
They're very good with that stuff. They could, a month gone by, what have you done? Oh yeah, organize my thing. I talked to some I talked to some potential people. Doesn't mean shit. Which one? Be very clear. None. Business struggling. 100%. Right? So I'm very disciplined. I look at what I do. Okay, it better fall into this. And this would help me. Sometimes I come up with, like I'm creative too. So I come up with a lot of ideas. And I would look at this. Actually, that doesn't fit into any of this stuff. So maybe I'll put in the back burner. Maybe I'll revisit in the future. Or I might start doing something and I look at this. Well, yeah, it falls into that. But that's actually what I need. Not I need right now. I actually need some of this stuff. Right? See what I mean? Now, what happens is, as I'm adding my list, I want to add one more piece so you get this. Add learning to it as you are, let's say you want to do lead gen, and you have 3 ways that you know of to lead gen. And you say, I'm doing my best with those 3 already, but I'm still not getting enough leads. What's wrong? Now the learning kicks in. Because my lack of knowledge is restricting me. I only know 3. What if you know 30 ways to lead gen? Now you can filter and say, oh, I can do these 10 instead of these 3. So the learning has to fit with what you want to accomplish.
You're learning with a purpose rather than just
Yes.
learning for the sake of learning.
Let's say I'm doing a lot of lead gen, I'm doing a lot of PMP, I'm not closing sales. What do I need to learn? Closing on the phone. That would give me the breakthrough I want, right? Stephen?
So looking at the weaknesses, it's not, I mean, learning is a big part of it, but also the demons falling.
Oh, all that, yeah.
So then focusing on that one column that's.
Yeah. And that's why I gave you the inner demons last time first, kind of lay a foundation. This is just practical implementation. You just look at your stuff and see where you're at. Good?
Super good.
No, this is
Good.
awesome.
Good.
I think part of the reason why I came to you originally was because this whole self-sabotage thing where, you put everything into one, so all this, one column.
Boom.
And what you're going to do, from a human perspective, what people do naturally is do the easy stuff
Yes.
first.
Yes.
So you just, one column, it's like all this shit. It's like, holy smokes, I'll make sure that I get this done.
Yeah, because it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good. Yeah. Oh yeah, I just need to return this email. It's easy.
And then you have all this other stuff that just like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I think you mentioned something like
Yeah,
that.
doesn't get done. It does not get done.
Email will fall into money now as well, right?
Yes. Yes, do you want?
It's interesting, like, yes, I've had all my own mental bullshit, but the only reason why I've made any money in the last 2 weeks is not actually putting a fucking offer out there with the lead gen.
Yeah.
I actually am like, here now.
Buy some stuff.
I'm realizing, like, I have no application form for SEO. I've got no application form for my mentorship.
Yeah.
I have no lead magnet out on the market.
Yes.
So no shit.
No shit. And then how come sale doesn't come in? They can't fucking buy.
I uploaded that one video.
Right, God? Right, they can't buy.
I uploaded the one video that I did up
Yes.
when I spoke. and then I just put an offer out.
Yeah.
And open got money.
Yes.
So, but it's like all of a sudden I realized, like, yeah, I've been focusing on money later, money now, and maintaining my PNP. Well, dude, just put some lead gen and you'll have money.
And that's why this tells you the truth. And that's why I love business, I love martial art. Like from my Sifu, he said, you know why I love martial art? It's so fucking honest. You can talk a good game, you can talk shit, you can say I'm tough. I touch hands in 3 seconds, I find about the true you. Are you a coward? Are you actually good? Are you BS? 3 seconds, I know. Touch hands, immediately. It's so honest. Business is the same thing. You can talk about this and talk about that, and yeah, I know, well, Earl, I know marketing. Results. That's it. How many clients? How much you're making? Everything else is all talk. It's very, very honest. It's a self-reflection thing, right? And that's why it's interesting. I love that part of it. It's so honest. And that's why, honestly, look at what you do, and you just look at it every month. I'm just asking, look once a month, right? Look, oh, what's going on? Use it all the time, or on your whiteboard or in your computer, and just look at it. And when you're off balance, you know immediately. Oh shit, I'm doing a lot. So you maybe in a period of time go through a lot of this, and then you're like, no, I need some of that too, right? I need some of those big deals. Maybe that would give me a breakthrough, take me to the next level. I also need to, yeah, I got PNP, but maybe I need a different kind of PNP, right? Or I might need to change that up to attract better clients. So our goal, really, the whole thing, it's about going back to these columns, and you continually make it better, slightly, gradual improvement. That's it.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a long list on Legion and PNP, just because it could just be 3 and 3. And
It doesn't. It doesn't. But sometimes, chances are, for most of you guys, for all of us, you got to try a bunch of shit to find that top 3. You try 3, you might think this is it. But if you try 10, you come up with a better 3. Right? So that's why most, like Jack, challenge, you're not trying enough shit. You try 1, try 2, oh, that didn't work that well. Well, how many things you've tried? You try enough. I've tried so many things at an early age. That's okay. I know enough stuff that what works for me, what doesn't work for me, then I know. I'm very clear. So a lot of stuff, no, I don't need to do that. I'm not going to go to a networking and network, period. Works for some people, just doesn't work for me. So I totally limit that from my list. What I need to do is show up as a speaker. How to get speaking gig, how to get the positioning, that's my skill. I do that all day long. Yes, so if you're speaking, you're generating an appointment, you're doing this. If you're speaking, you're selling something from a platform, is this, right? Yeah. But also it builds your PNP too, because you have that authority positioning. So what Andre is thinking about the trade show, Andre is actually trying to do multiple of these at the same time. What we're doing, that's why I gave him a task, think about this. He's going there before was like a draw, hopefully I get some business, do a free search, I follow up. He's trying to focus on the money in the future and lead gen. I'm tweaking it into, screw that, let's make an offer now and sell them something. Sell them something right now. Goodie bag, PMP, people walking around. What is this trademark factory thing? Money in the future, that's why I give them a little book. So that two people are not ready to buy. They have something, has some staying power. They might slip through that a year from now that they might buy something from me. So I turn the thing and I expand it differently, right? Just change it. He could have done these 2, but I want to do these 3. Same trade show, same e-woman network. Big difference in results. Okay, let's do lunch. Great, but keep talking about it during lunch too. Just think.